T-minus 10, 9, 8.
For the better part of 40 years, Houston has been mapping a course to the heavens.
7, 6, 5.
Until all of a sudden,
2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
it wasn't.
Houston now controlling the flight of Atlantis.
Controlling the final flight, but not its own destiny. Because suddenly, with budget cuts and backroom bickering over a new direction, NASA was a space agency without a spaceship.
It was a time for all of us that was hard to think about what the future was for the agency.
After 28 years at NASA, Julie Kramer is one of thousands of people in Houston who bleeds rocket fuel.
Absolutely. For engineers, there's nothing better than building something and getting ready to fly something.
And now, 2.5 years after the shuttle had its wings clipped, the Eagle is ready to soar again.
And for those who would look and say, because of the financial challenges that were placed upon NASA, Houston is no longer a space city, what would you say to them?
Yeah, well, it's not true. It's absolutely not true.
And to prove it, Mark Geyer and his team are building a new spaceship, the first in a generation. Granted, the budget is much smaller, but here, they still dream big.
Getting ready to send humans beyond low Earth orbit and exploring the solar system again.
I was given one of the first looks at NASA's new Orion project, its new space vehicle, JSC's Savior.
We're going to go way deep space.
Perhaps farther than ever before. And even though the first manned mission is still 7 years away, Houston astronauts like Shane Kimbrough are already dreaming.
So the space station, as you are aware, hangs out around 200 miles above the Earth. And Orion's going to go way deeper than that, so out towards the moon, asteroids, or even Mars one day. So we're talking millions of miles away from Earth.
How do you even think about accomplishing something like that? Where do you start?
Well, I think we've been thinking about it for a long time. Actually, you know, historically, if you go back, NASA has thought about going as far as Mars since the 50s and probably even before that. So we've had a lot of thought and a lot of good ideas.
And for a round-trip mission to Mars that could take 2 years, they'll need good ideas.
I completely put my trust in them, and it's going to be a really, really safe vehicle when we fly on it.
Do you get excited when you think about it?
I do. I know I'm probably going to be too old to go to Mars, but I would love to go, put a footprint on Mars.
So to prepare for that day, engineers like these in Massachusetts are working like bees on a honeycomb, putting the final touches on a heat shield for a capsule that will look a lot like the old Apollo ship, except for the 21st century electronic upgrades. And in the deserts of Arizona, they're testing a parachute system, the air brakes for a supersonic capsule speeding to Earth like a comet. They're hoping success here will lead to success here, when everything's on the line, and the only thing that really matters is the right stuff.